This is a video by request, and someone uploaded this video that's called ISS International Space Station Live Feed, and it's Fake Sun or Sun Simulator? Neither. I'll explain why in a minute, but let's just go through the image. Now, it has a lens flare in the lower right. Well, they're basically up and down. So the bottom image here is a lens flare, most likely. In fact, most of it's lens flares in overdrive. And I'm going to upload these images so that you can look at them yourself, but you can also see that the image of the sun doesn't look round. Okay, now let's go on to the next stage. I drew the standard cross-hatching from corner to corner to find the center of the image field of view, and then the center of each object I drew a straight line it through as best I could, and it's off by a little bit, but there you are. And yeah, it lines up not only with the lens flare, it lines up with the others too. So it is the lens flare. Now the next image is going to show you the nature of them. As far as distance change, again, same thing, so it's probably a lens flare. The thing I wanted to point out is the shape or lack of symmetry in the images. That copy in the lower right there is a copy grabbed from the top there and dragged down. It doesn't look like it, but it really is. And you can see that they're mirror images of each other, or, well, the opposites of each other. Next, the idea here is it's a simple question. Is there a fake sun that is lighting the Earth? Now, besides the details of what I'm going to go into, I'm just going to say that this doesn't look symmetrical, which would mean, okay, then it's an asymmetrical shape. Well, it's very asymmetrical. It's not symmetrical on either of the axes at all. Anyway, next stage. This is what causes that hexagonal shape. Unless the camera has more than 6 blades in it or less, that's the answer. It's pretty simple. And these can get to where they're not physically symmetrical too. They can be damaged, they can move wrong, that sort of thing. Many cameras these days don't use an aperture like this. They use something else entirely. But some of them also use software processing to make everything into hexagonal or octagonal or 5-sided shapes to try to blotch it together to clean it up for compressing video or images and sending them. So I don't know unless I know the exact make and model of the camera. I'd have to actually know which one it is. And last time I checked, they don't tell you exactly which one it is. They call them commodity cameras. Now you can do this on a camera, and I wish they would just do this one day, and you get this effect instead. Just saying. So anyway, let's get back to the image here. Because, I'm going to get the raw image up here. Because the image of the sun looks hexagonal, or almost hexagonal, when you look at it really closely, you're going to have to zoom in on it and tilt your screen backwards like I'm doing. You'll notice it's not hexagonal, it's spiked. And again, the shape is most likely caused by the aperture or the diaphragm or whatever you want to call it. So what else can we get out of this besides that? I mean, what value is there to this imaging? Okay, the idea here is that something would be put into the sky and for some necessary reason be a fake version of the sun lighting up the world as much as a star does. And what is the necessity of this? I'm not sure, because this is a little bit more on an intellectual level, like, you know, chewing gum for the mind. But let's explore that. Why would that be done? I can't think of a reason to do it, because in order to power something like that, you'd have to deal with energy losses and basically have to use as much energy as the output of an actual star to power it. So why not just use the star and not use this light source? Now I'm going to get to the question that I'm going to get to really quick, the original question in the video. Is it a fake sun? No, it's most likely caused by the simplest thing, which is that effect. And you can also check for this by getting a camera on purpose that has a different number of blades in its diaphragm or aperture or iris. And sun simulator. The word sun simulator keeps getting used almost knowingly wrong. The sun simulator is supposed to simulate the effects of the sun here on Earth on materials. It's for testing the effects of it by trying to do enough energy output in a small area to emulate the sun. And the one they talk about is one that uses the sun for a power source and uses mirrors. And that was the video I put up. So anyway, if anybody's curious why I'm doing this, I was asked to evaluate the video, and it doesn't really include any context as to whether I'm evaluating the lens flare, which I confirmed by doing the X marks the spot test, or the originating image, which I was able to confirm, oddly enough, from the lens flare, that it's probably just the sun. I'd like to point out another thing. When you see a lens flare, it's usually a lower intensity, lower contrast copy of the original light source. And you can actually use the lens flare to figure out what you're looking at most of the time. But you have to know what kind of shape was caused by the camera's equipment itself. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that.